TV soap news and spoilers say that July 14, 2025, marked a tumultuous chapter in the ongoing saga of Beyond the Gates, a gripping drama that unfolds in the quiet town of Fairhaven, where secrets fester beneath a veneer of suburban tranquility. The episode, airing this Monday, July 14, delivered a cascade of raw emotions, explosive confrontations, and tangled relationships that left viewers on the edge of their seats. From a father's desperate fight to protect his family to whispered suspicions of betrayal and the fragile threads of love tested by doubt, this episode wove a tapestry of human struggle that demands to be unpacked. Below, we delve into the heart of these stories, expanding on the raw intensity and intricate dynamics that define Beyond the Gates. A father's rage, Martin's breaking point in the quiet streets of Fairhaven. Martin Richardson is a man known for his composure. A respected congressman with a reputation for measured words and calculated decisions, Martin has always been the steady hand guiding his family through life's storms. But on July 14, that composure shattered like glass under the weight of a father's fear and fury. The episode opened with a chilling flashback to the previous week, where Martin's world began to unravel. It started innocently enough, a chess game in the Richardsons' sprawling living room. Tyrell, Martin's 12-year-old son, sat across from Kenny, the family's longtime waiter and a fixture in their household. The clatter of chess pieces punctuated their laughter, a scene that should have been heartwarming. But Martin, standing in the doorway, felt a prickle of unease. Kenny wasn't just a waiter, he was a shadow that lingered too long, his presence in the Richardson home growing more invasive with each passing day. Martin's gut churned as he watched Kenny lean closer to Tyrell, his smile too familiar, his tone too intimate. It was a violation, subtle but unmistakable, and it planted a seed of distrust that would soon erupt. The tension escalated when Martin spotted Kenny in Fairhaven Park, his teenage daughter Samantha at his side. Samantha, with her bright eyes and unguarded laughter, was oblivious to the danger Martin perceived. Kenny's arm brushed against hers as they walked, his voice low and conspiratorial. To Martin, it was a scene straight from a nightmare, a predator circling his daughter, a threat cloaked in charm. The camera lingered on Martin's face, his jaw tightening, his eyes darkening with a storm of rage and protectiveness. The park, once a haven of picnics and playdates, now felt like a battlefield where Martin's family was under siege. By Monday, July 14, Martin's restraint had reached its breaking point. The episode's centerpiece was a brawl that shook the quiet streets of Fairhaven to their core. It began outside the local cafe, where Kenny, oblivious to the storm brewing, was chatting with a group of locals. Martin, driven by a father's primal instinct, stormed toward him, his face a mask of fury. The confrontation was swift and brutal. Martin's fist connected with Kenny's jaw, a sickening crack echoing through the stunned crowd. "Stay away from my family!" Martin roared, his voice raw with anguish. Kenny stumbled back, blood trickling from his lip, but his smirk only fueled Martin's rage. The fight spilled onto the pavement, a chaotic blur of punches and shouts, as bystanders scrambled to intervene. Who could blame Martin? Kenny's relentless presence in the Richardsons' lives had crossed every boundary. The chess games, the park encounters, they were not isolated incidents but pieces of a pattern that Martin could no longer ignore. Was Kenny a harmless eccentric, or was there something darker at play? The episode left viewers grappling with that question, as Martin's actions, though violent, resonated with anyone who has ever felt the fierce need to protect their loved ones. As the dust settled, Martin stood panting, his knuckles bruised, his heart heavy with the weight of what he'd done. Would his rage be directed solely at Kenny, or had he crossed a line from which there was no return? The camera lingered on his haunted expression, a man torn between duty and desperation, setting the stage for a reckoning that promises to unfold in the episodes to come. A web of doubt, Ashley and Haley's fractured bond across town, another drama was brewing, one woven with whispers and suspicion. Ashley Thompson, a sharp-witted paralegal with a knack for uncovering truths, found herself entangled in a mystery that struck at the heart of her closest relationships. Her best friend, Naomi Hamilton, had always been her confidant, a sister in all but blood. But Naomi's father, Bill Hamilton, a charismatic businessman with a trail of broken hearts, was at the center of a storm that threatened to upend Ashley's world. The episode introduced Haley, Bill's younger fiancée, whose radiant smile and glowing demeanor had once charmed everyone in Fairhaven. Haley's pregnancy announcement had been a beacon of joy for Bill, a chance to start anew after years of personal turmoil. But Ashley, ever observant, noticed cracks in Haley's story. During a tense hospital visit after Haley's miscarriage scare, Ashley overheard a hushed conversation between Danny, a nurse, and another staff member. "She's faking it," Danny whispered, her words slicing through the sterile hospital air. There was never any ultrasound, no confirmation of a pregnancy at all. The revelation hit Ashley like a thunderbolt. Was Haley, the woman poised to bring a new Hamilton into the world, orchestrating a cruel deception? Ashley's mind raced as she grappled with the implications. Bill, Naomi's father, was more than just a friend's dad. He was a pillar of her community, a man whose trust Ashley had always valued. If Haley was lying, the betrayal would devastate not only Bill but Naomi, whose loyalty to her father was unwavering. Ashley's vested interest in uncovering the truth was not just personal, it was a duty to protect those she loved from the pain of deceit. Yet, the hospital's strict privacy protocols bound the nurse's lips, leaving Ashley with nothing but suspicion and a gnawing sense of unease. The episode masterfully captured Ashley's internal struggle as she navigated her rekindled interactions with Haley. At a tense coffee shop meeting, Haley reached out, her voice soft with concern. "You've been so distant, Ash. Is everything okay?" The question hung in the air, heavy with unspoken truths. Ashley's smile was strained, her eyes searching Haley's for a hint of guilt. Every gesture, every word, was now suspect. Was Haley's warmth genuine, or a carefully crafted facade? The camera zoomed in on Ashley's fidgeting hands, a subtle nod to her turmoil, as she deflected Haley's questions with polite excuses. The once easy camaraderie between them was fraying, replaced by a chasm of doubt that threatened to swallow their friendship whole. As Haley pressed for connection, Ashley's distance grew more pronounced, her every interaction tinged with the weight of what she knew, or thought she knew. The episode ended with Ashley alone in her apartment, staring at a photo of her and Naomi, her resolve hardening. She would uncover the truth, no matter the cost. But at what price would her pursuit come? Would it fracture her bond with Naomi, or expose Haley's secrets to the light? Beyond the gates left viewers hanging on this precipice, the tension between loyalty and truth a heartbeat that pulsed through the narrative. A love tested. Madison and Chelsea's fragile bond in the midst of Fairhaven's chaos, a quieter but no less poignant drama unfolded between Madison Carter and Chelsea Evans, a couple whose love had once seemed unshakable. Their relationship, a beacon of warmth in the cold undercurrents of the town, faced a new threat with the arrival of Allison, a figure from Chelsea's past whose sudden reappearance sent ripples of unease through Madison's heart. Madison, a graphic designer with a penchant for bold colors and bolder emotions, had always been the more vulnerable of the pair. Her love for Chelsea, a pragmatic schoolteacher with a steady hand and a quick wit, was the anchor that grounded her. But Allison's return, her confident stride, her knowing smiles, stirred a storm of insecurity in Madison. The episode painted their history in vivid strokes. Allison, Chelsea's college girlfriend, had been a whirlwind of passion and unpredictability, a stark contrast to the steady rhythm of Madison's life with Chelsea. At a local art gallery event, Allison's presence was electric, her laughter drawing Chelsea into a nostalgic orbit that left Madison on the sidelines, her heart pounding with fear. The camera captured Madison's anguish in subtle, devastating moments. The way her fingers tightened around her wine glass as Allison whispered something in Chelsea's ear, the flicker of doubt in her eyes as Chelsea laughed, oblivious to Madison's pain. The episode's tension peaked during a quiet moment at home, where Madison's voice trembled as she confronted Chelsea. "Do you still want her?" she asked, her words barely above a whisper. Chelsea's face softened, her hand reaching for Madison's, but the reassurance felt hollow against the backdrop of Allison's shadow. Chelsea's efforts to prove her devotion were heartfelt but fraught with missteps. A romantic dinner she planned went awry when Allison texted, her name flashing on Chelsea's phone like a taunt. Madison's smile faltered, her insecurities bubbling to the surface. "I need to know I'm enough," she said, her voice cracking. Chelsea's response was fierce, her love for Madison shining through as she pulled her close. "You're everything," she vowed, but the camera lingered on Madison's face, her doubts unresolved. Could Chelsea truly reassure her girlfriend that she was the only one? Or would Allison's presence unravel the fragile threads of their love? The episode wove these stories together with a masterful hand, each thread amplifying the others to create a portrait of a town on the brink. Martin's rage, Ashley's suspicions, and Madison's fears were not isolated tales but facets of a larger truth, that in Fairhaven, trust is a fragile thing, easily broken and hard to mend. Beyond the Gates delivered a narrative that was both intimate and expansive, its characters' struggles resonating with anyone who has ever fought for family, sought truth, or clung to love in the face of doubt. As the credits rolled, viewers were left with a hunger for answers. Would Martin's violence protect his family or destroy his legacy? Could Ashley uncover Haley's secrets without losing Naomi? And would Madison and Chelsea's love survive the shadow of Allison? For those eager to witness these stories unfold, the video of the July 14th episode is a must-watch, a window into the raw, unfiltered heart of Beyond the Gates.